Hey, what's going on, crypto people? This is D Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Wow. Holy moly, what's going on with the market? The market is doing what the market does. Looks like the XRP YouTubers are all up in their feelings, the entertaining YouTubers. I got to qualify it, the entertainers, all up in their feelings this morning. Wow, unbelievable. We're going to cover some of that. We're going to get into, I thought that dude was one of the adults in the room. Apparently not. So let's get into what's going on with Caitlin Long, talking about what's coming from the BIS that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. Yeah, not so great. Jeremy Hogan with some interesting tweets on Twitter about the court possibly putting an injunction on the sales of XRP by Ripple Labs. That is an interesting, a very, very interesting conversation to have. Oh my God, the XRP entertainers, what in the world? Wow. This dude lives on the corner of privileged and freaking privileged. Like, whoa, what? I mean, I think, like, I'm going to say privileged and entitled. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Escrow police. What? Oh my goodness. Freedom of speech. Content, my freedom of speech is being violated. Oh my God. Oh no. Then you got the other, what is the other group that is constantly being exposed? What is it called? Cancel culture. You got the freedom of speech, you got the cancel culture, now you got the escrow police. Like, dude, come on already. Yeah, right on the corner of freaking entitlement and privilege is where this dude lives. Unfreaking believable. Anyway, let's go with the market because the market is doing what the market does. Let's go with these numbers here. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 981 billion. What in the wide world? Bitcoin dominance is at 37.3%. That's better. Bitcoin is at $19,094. Ethereum is at $1,338. XRP is at 50 cents. What is going on? What's going on? It's so hard to say. Is it the insiders knowing something? Why is XRP pumping 40% on the 7-day? What is, I mean, I'm happy to see it. It's cool, but what's going on there? Why? Oh, is it because did Ripple send a memo out to everyone that say that, yeah, XRP is done, there's no more sales? It's over. Retail shut out, done. It's ODL and ODL only. Did Ripple put that out? Does someone know that? ODL only, done. Is it? Why is XRP pumping 40% on the 7 days trading at 50 cents? If you know, please tell me. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand what's going on right now. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me cover something that Caitlin Long shared. Yeah, right on the corner there. Entitlement and privilege. Scary place to be. Let's share something that Caitlin Long shared that I think is hugely important. Hugely important. We share the title of this. Hopefully it won't. Banks are about to face the same tsunami that hit telecom 20 years ago. So Caitlin Long, she's a senior contributor. I didn't know she was a senior contributor. Yeah, so take a listen to what she says here. Because I said before, I was quoting Caitlin Long when she was saying, everybody's paying attention to the SEC and the CFTC. Those aren't the problem. Those regulators are not the problem, according to Caitlin Long. Let me read this. She said, that brings me back to my fear that global bank regulators, specifically the BIS, are about to make a decision that obsoletes the banks. Why? Because the BIS is proposing bank capital treatment that would effectively block banks from interacting with open, permissionless protocols. Let me say that again. The BIS is proposing bank capital treatment that would effectively block banks from interacting with open, permissionless protocols. If they do that, they are guaranteeing that the tech industry will just keep going around the banking sector. This is, again, Caitlin Long, contributing editor at Forbes. Let me see if I can't get this laptop to act right here. The biggest concern of global bank regulators with banks, the biggest concern of global bank regulators with banks using open permissionless protocols, I suspect, is compliance. But banks don't need compliance to be built into the base layer of their IT systems. Compliance can be built into applications that run above the base layer and which control access. In fact, that's what banks are already doing today with TCP and IP. Every bank uses TCP slant IP, and yet strictly controls access to their online banking platforms. Criminals in sanctioned countries use TCP IP today, but banks have the tools to block them from using banks' applications. Same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Banks have the tools to block illicit finance from using their applications. It's easier to police illicit activities on open blockchain systems than it is in legacy systems. Mark Phillips had something to say about this, my guy, Mark Phillips. I hope you're doing well, bro. I think it's really, really important. He covered this. Where is it? Let me see, make sure I have that. Because he said that she failed to mention something. It was a great write-up, but she did, in fact, fail to release something. Oh. Let me do this. Let me do this. And then come back, because I think it's important, because he's covering something that's hugely important. Come on, laptop. In reference to this article, which was a good article. Here it is. Caitlin Long tweeted this out. I fear global bank regulators are about to make a decision that will unintentionally obsolete the banks by prohibiting a coming tech pivot, right as internet native payment technology are starting to scale. This is an article from Forbes again. Caitlin makes great points about DA technology, digital asset technology's impact on bank, but she focuses on the potential for Bitcoin to move money for banks. She ignores the fact that XRP already does this. It is highly efficient, fast, scalable, and banks are adopting it. She picked the wrong horse. I remember thinking about, kind of like it was kind of at Ripple, no longer at Ripple kind of deal, right? Remember that? Caitlin Long. But he makes a very, very good point. The article is very, very intriguing, and it's something to pay attention to. That he is correct. He is correct. She did not mention XRP in that article. There was no mention of XRP in the article. You're talking about open permissionless software that banks are using. How do you not put XRP in there? It's very interesting to see that coming from someone who used to work at Ripple. Mark also pointed out something that I want to share with you guys too. Treasury, through FinCEN actions in 2015, exerted control over XRP, calling it a virtual currency. We focus on the SEC CFTC power struggles for overall crypto oversight, but shouldn't XRP regulation remain within Treasury? Of course it should. It's also strange that the SEC filed the lawsuit exactly when the FinCEN requirement for Ripple to retain external independent auditors to review their compliance with the BSA every 2 years, up to and including 2020, had expired. Coincidence or a coordinated effort to slow XRP? What do you think? If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. It just is the banking regulators who are the real challenge, like Caitlin Long expressed, the BIS. The banking regulators are the biggest challenge to crypto. Period. The banking regulators. This is where the real war goes on. That's why my guy, Simon Dixon, is saying there's going to be this war amongst the banks, central banks, and the other banks. The central bank of all banks and the other banks. It's just a matter of time before it becomes very, very, very evident. And it is, my friends, very, very scary. But this fintech and what they're doing is, listen, it's undeniable. You cannot deny it, and it won't be stopped. Even the entertainers have come to, after a while, come to that conclusion. Oh, by the way, if you're into some music here, Mark Phillips says his son just released a new 5-song EP, and you can check it out here. Distro Kid. Nice. Very cool. So Jeremy Hogan pushed this tweet out. Stuart Alirati and Brad Garlinghouse are doing a road show. Another genius in motion by Ripple, pointing to the investment contract, which precedes even getting into the Howey test. Genius in motion. Absolutely genius in motion. And this is why I believe I'm leaning more to the settlement than the summary judgment, because the SEC can win in a settlement and be able to pursue other digital assets. In a summary judgment, it will make it, if Ripple wins that summary judgment, it's going to make it significantly harder for the SEC to win other cases. Significantly harder. Because Ripple's motion for the summary judgment is calling on the law, and the law, and believes it has a winning case in the law. A settlement is between Ripple, SEC, and the asset XRP, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. The SEC can continue to move on towards other projects. Not that they can't with the summary judgment, but in order to win, it would be harder and harder for them to do it. If a summary judgment comes and the judge rules based upon the motions in this summary judgment, it's a blessing for the entire crypto if Ripple wins it. This is why I believe #Gary Gensler is not going to rely on a summary judgment. I believe it's going to be a settlement between the parties involved and the asset involved, and that's it. So Jeremy Hogan put this out. This is very, very interesting. This is where the XRP YouTube entertainers got up all in their feelings. I'm sorry, since we're talking about doom and gloom, I have to add the possibility of an injunction against Ripple Labs from selling XRP. What having the entire escrow effectively locked up by the government means, I don't know. So here's the thread here. I'll read the rest of this to you guys. It was an interesting little take. Mickey B. Fresh responded here. Says, thanks, Jeremy, for all you do for the community. Technically, I don't think it's possible to enforce the XRP ledgers, escrow, powerful. Time releases plus crypto conditions plus multi-sig wallets. It's impossible to know how, why, or where XRP goes without knowing conditions. Interesting stuff. That's from my guy, Mickey B. Fresh. Right? That's from my guy, Mickey B. Fresh. And so in the end, that's where it is, guys. It's a very, very interesting thing. I'm glad Mickey B. Fresh had a chance to respond to that. And interestingly enough, Jeremy Hogan utilizes freedom of speech, and Mickey B. Fresh utilizes his freedom of speech to respond. No one's complaining about cancel culture. No one's calling each other escrow police. Only XRP YouTube entertainers result to the childish, entitled, and privileged things like escrow police. Only the non-adults in the room do things like that. The adults in the room utilize the freedom of speech and respond accordingly. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live and whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos. Shout out to that dude, Mickey B. Fresh. And I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this.
Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.